Okay, we're going to continue on with this scripting auto rig project. And right now we have where we can create the skeleton, we can adjust joints if we wanted to. Then we start on the create rig portion. So you can see that it mirrors everything. Right now it's set up for perfectly mirrored, and this is going to be a basic character, assuming that it is mirrored. So we have that. And we could add more functionality to the future, but for right now, to get this project done, we are going to do kind of a simple rig like this, and then you'll have the ability to control everything that we have here. All right, so we need to get controls. We need controls. Let us close this, and I'm going to get rid of this. Let's look at the outliner, make sure there's nothing there. All we need is Bippy. That's good. Okay, so we have our function here. It's calling the button and the create rig here. This is what we're working on right now. So we've unlocked all the center joints, oriented the skeleton, parented joints, freeze transformations, mirrored the skeleton, and created the IKs. Here we're getting rid of the curves that are that we used to identify what each joint was for the placement. Then now we need to create a new function and say create controls. Okay, so let's define, oopsies. Define create controls. And this is going to be the one that calls all the functions that we need. So what we're going to do is say CC for create control. So this is going to be for each individual control. I don't know what the arguments are yet, but let's create that function. And we would basically be doing like cog or hand or master control, whatever. Let's do the master control first. Yeah. Okay, let's define CC. And we know that we're going to need control name. That's going to be one of the arguments because we've already defined that. And basically, what we're going to be using for controls is curves. We're just going to do circles to keep it simple. But if you wanted to, I have other tutorials that go over how to create multiple of different shapes for controls. I'll link it up in the iCard above right now. But we're just going to create a curve right now. So you can see the command is circle. We have that right there. So let's delete that circle, and we will create it's going to be mc.circle. And then let's just run this really quick. CC master. And then let's say name equals control name. So we got that. We can run it. We can see that we have a control. It's named master, and it is set there. You can see that it is aligned along the Z. So that is one thing that we're going to need to fix, because this master control is going to be on the ground plane here. So we have master. Then looking at the master name, it's probably going to end up being something like C, because everything in the center is starts with C, C master underscore C TRL. So we can do that like that, or just to keep it shorter, we can do it in the function. So let's do that in the function here. Let's go name equals alignment. So let's add another argument here. It's going to be C. And then we can say plus control name plus underscore CTRL. So then we're going to do name. And we actually need to add another thing here. Let's do the underscore. There you go. So it's alignment underscore control name underscore control. So if we were to run this, it's not going to work yet, because we need to create the alignment. And let's make this lowercase. There we go. So we're going to say alignment So let's delete this control here and run all of this. And we have an error. It's because I misspelled alignment. Let's try that again. Boom. So we have C underscore master underscore CTRL. That is great. That's what we want. Now, for the controls, we also want to make sure that we have a group underneath each one. And we need to adjust the alignment. So let's look at the create NURBS primitive circle. So this is what we're going to need. NR, which is basically which way is the circle built. So let's do comma NR equals, and when we create that, you can see that it's pointing up. So XY, it's pointing up in the Y. Ooh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, it moved over to the other screen. So NR equals, and we can put it in brackets, 0, 1, 0. And we'll build the controls in this alignment here. And then add a bracket. If we need to change it in the future, we can, but right now it's just going to be created that way. So let's delete this circle and create it, and you can see now it's created pointing up rather than looking forward like it was a moment ago. Okay, so now we need groups for all of these controls that we're building. So mc dot group, let's say name equals name plus underscore grp. Well, underscore, let's not name it group, let's do it 0. Let's see what this looks like right now when we run all of this. So we could see it groups it and it creates that 0 group. So beforehand, before I do this, I want to do the offset group. So I'm going to create this and name this offset. Okay, so let's look at what happens here. So we have a 0 group, then we have the offset group, then we have the control itself. So what does this do for us? Well, what it does for us is if we have the control selected, we can move it, rotate it, do whatever we need, and then 0 it out. So if we had the 0 position, let's say way up here, something like that, and we go back to the control, and then we move the control itself, you'll see that it is all set up to 0 out back at that 0 position. Then the offset, what we can do with that is have additional attributes that will control it. So if I wanted to, I can select this and offset it a certain amount. But if you look at the control, it's still 0. So I can still manipulate the control without having to have any issues with that. So that is how the grouping for the controls will work. Now, let's look at the script again. That little tool is very annoying. I need to uninstall that. So now that we're running that and we have that all working properly, that's going to be the base for our controls. We're probably going to add a little bit more to this, but this is the base for the control setup. If you had other shapes, you can create a function here that tells it what shape. So have an if statement. So like if circle, create a circle. If square, create square. If box, create a box. Whatever types of controls you want, you can set that up here in a set of if statements, and then add that as an argument as well. So I want it to be a box control. I want it to be a circle control, whatever you want there. All right. So in the next lesson, we're going to look at setting up a way to parent this control to wherever it needs to go and line it up and have all that working properly. So we'll see you guys in the next lesson. Bye.